Hi, I'm Tech Sergeant Deb Decker from Bagram Airfield, and this is Freedom Watch Afghanistan. 1 U.S. and 3 Afghan soldiers were killed Monday when an Afghan national soldier opened fire on them. The gunman was reportedly attempting to get fuel from a base in Herat in western Afghanistan. He was denied the fuel because he was not in uniform. He reportedly became angry and opened fire. A civilian was also killed, and another 9 ANA soldiers were wounded. The U.S. soldier killed was part of an embedded training team out of Task Force Phoenix. A suicide bomber killed more than a dozen civilians, including 7 children, and wounded more than 30 people in southern Afghanistan yesterday. A NATO patrol on a marketplace was the supposed target. 10 International Security Assistance Force soldiers were wounded when the bomber used a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device at a bazaar in the Uruzgan province. ISAF quickly provided medical care to the injured people. The wounded are being treated at military hospitals in Afghanistan. Coalition F-15s, B-1s, and Harriers supported ground troops in Afghanistan this week. Tech Sergeant Dwight Hawkins reports crews flew 43 close air support missions to aid security, reconstruction, and patrol efforts on the ground.
Flight operations included F-15E Strike Eagles firing on a compound and showing force in East Afghanistan to keep the enemy at bay. An Air Force B-1B Lancer flew over a coalition convoy, successfully deterring possible Taliban attacks. And a Royal Air Force Harrier provided intel on possible enemy activity. 11 more aircraft also provided airborne reconnaissance. Other air operations included Coalition C-130s and C-17s providing logistical air support to U.S. and Coalition forces in Afghanistan. Tech Sergeant Dwight Hawkins, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
Still ahead on Freedom Watch Afghanistan, we'll learn what Task Force Med brings to the fight.
Afghan forces with support from coalition troops are hunting Taliban fighters in eastern Afghanistan as part of Operation Maiwan. The operation began June 1st with the purpose of improving security in the Ghazni province. In addition to conducting combat operations, soldiers are also holding meetings with village leaders throughout the province. The meetings focus on ways to improve provincial security while separating the Taliban from the local population.
Hi, I'm Major Dennis Zachary, stationed here in Bagram, Afghanistan. My job is the Executive Officer for the 3rd Battalion, 1st Brigade. Primarily what my role is to ensure that the armament goes on the vehicle is properly fitted, is properly installed, and is ready to go out to the warfight itself. I'm glad to serve primarily because I was not initially called up. I volunteered to come.
Task Force Med provides medical and surgical care to coalition troops and local Afghans. All 4 deployed medical and surgical teams in Afghanistan fall under the task force, but as Staff Sergeant Dominique Dickens explains, the Craig Joint Theater Hospital at Bagram Airfield is the hub of that organization.
Task Force Med maintains medical teams at 4 locations throughout the country who can provide life-saving care. But troops requiring additional or more advanced medical care are air-evac to the Craig Joint Theater Hospital.
For the patients that come here from the forward operating bases, they often require more operations and continuing care, so we'll often reoperate on them, make sure that they're not bleeding in their belly, reestablish their bowel continuity, operate on extremities, fix fractures, and basically provide them the same level of care that we provide in the United States.
The hospital is less than a year old, and its opening ushered in a new era of highly advanced battlefield medical care.
This hospital here at Bagram was designed specifically to be the top level or echelon of care within Afghanistan for our task force. What we can provide here is care above and beyond what can be provided at some of the forward operating bases. We have a number of surgical and medical subspecialties represented here, as well as a full spectrum of care and equipment and supplies, and so we're able to offer very intensive care, but in addition to that, we're able to offer care over a longer period of time than would be possible at many of these forward operating locations.
The Craig Joint Theater Hospital also provides support to the Afghan healthcare system. In addition to treating Afghan civilians, the hospital also runs training programs, allowing U.S. doctors to share their skills with their Afghan counterparts. Air Force Sergeant Dominique Dickens, Bagram Airfield, Afghanistan.
And that's it for this edition of Freedom Watch Afghanistan. I'm Tech Sergeant Deb Decker. Thanks for watching.